Meditation isn't thinking, it's not spacing out, and it's not blanking the mind. But it's hard to define meditation. At this stage of the game, it's kind of almost like, why talk too much about it? But it's good to have an idea, kind of like a roadmap, so that not to say that we shouldn't be content with where we are, or that we should really judge what's happening right now as good or bad or negative or right or wrong, because we're just getting started. But all being understood and said, I think it's important to understand the potential of meditation and what it can be, and a little bit about the steps along the way. So like I said, it's not just spacing out, it's not subconscious or dreamy, and it's not just trying to sit and empty the mind of thoughts. The mind doesn't really work that way. It needs something to do. And so with most meditation techniques, and especially with what we're working with here, in the beginning, meditation for you, for us, is going to be about developing concentration and developing the daily habit. And then it takes that much energy kind of to create the daily practice and to start working with our concentration, working with the specific technique that we're using here, to kind of establish a baseline of where we are and where we need to go. And so in the beginning, it's developing the practice and the concentration, and that really counts, okay? And then as we deepen our ability to concentrate and relax, we find that concentration isn't related to tension. You think of people trying to really solve a problem in a moment, when there's a lot of pressure and they're like scrunching the forehead. I mean, I do that. It's not, but you don't have to think physically, okay? And so with meditation, we can learn to concentrate very deeply and very well in a state of perfect relaxation and inner peace. That's really powerful. There's a lot of good reasons for that, and positive effects in our daily lives will come out of that. Another way to think of meditation is that it's listening, that a lot of people, over the centuries and nowadays too, feel that their prayers, when they've prayed, have not been answered, or praying is useless. It's like you're just talking to nothing, and that's not true. I'm not able to define the divine or to define God, but I know from my own meditation that we can obtain the answers that we're seeking, that there is some kind of greater overarching wisdom that's much bigger and much more aware and much more wise than the thinking rational mind. Okay? And so meditation is a way to listen. It's a way to calm our mind and open our heart and relax the body and relax our thoughts, relax away from anxiety, so that all of these things that are kind of filtering our experience of life can kind of move out of the way, like clouds, just moving out of the way, so that we can actually see the stars, or that we can actually see the light of the sun. And so meditation is a process of removing these obstacles so that we can simply perceive the sweetness and the depth in our own selves and in all of life. Meditation is a discipline. It takes energy to create the habit of meditation so that we can really move forward and not just kind of play around. Talk a little bit more about that in a moment. And then another way to think of meditation is the yogic definition as Paramhansa Yogananda expressed it. He said that specifically that meditation was concentrating on God or an aspect of the divine to the point that one goes beyond the state of perfect concentration into an experience of absorption. In yoga we call it dhyana, and it's a Sanskrit word, but the state of absorption where it's not like I'm meditating on Christ or I'm meditating on love or peace or joy. And so there's me, there's the act of meditation and what I'm focusing on. It's true meditation is when we go beyond that. And it might sound funny, I almost hesitate to say this, but it's like when you become love. You'll know it when it happens. Or when you become one with peace, or one with the divine in some way where you're not sitting there meditating anymore. You're not feeling that you're doing anything like that, but your awareness is expanded. It's kind of merged into what you're concentrating on, and it's a real thing. This is not oxygen starving, it's not a hallucination, it's not a dream. Meditation is a way to know God, or to know yourself with perfect clarity. And so another thing I can say about what meditation is or isn't is that meditation is probably the most important skill you'll ever learn, and it's the most valuable tool that I know of to understanding myself, understanding the world around me, and understanding other people in a way that allows me to feel deep compassion and respect for all of them. Meditation's really powerful. And so I'm so glad you're here and we're sharing this experience together.